Welcome back to the Tropical Update. It's Monday, September 11th. I'm Tom. I'll be guiding you through graphics tonight. We're going to be talking about Hurricane Irma, still a Category 2 at this time, and it's moving its way north up through the center of Florida, a little bit east of the track they thought it was going to go. And we're also going to be looking at where Irma's going and what's going to be going on. First up, this is at 12 a.m. and we actually got the 1 a.m. in, and it is 15 miles southwest of Lakeland, Florida. The winds are 100 miles an hour. Pressure is 952 millibars, and it is still moving north at a good 14 miles an hour. So as you can see on this graphic, it's sort of in between Tampa and Fort Myers, and it's getting up near Orlando. Orlando is about where Melbourne is, at the middle of the state. Now here's our cone, and it has changed very little. They're still thinking that it's going to move pretty much north, make a little bit of a northwest turn, and go through Georgia, Alabama, and into western Tennessee sometime on Tuesday. Next up is going to be our watches and warnings, and they have expanded. You can see Atlanta now has a tropical storm warning. So does Savannah and Montgomery, Alabama, and Pensacola. And they've increased the hurricane warnings all the way up to that's Albany, Georgia. And they have actually lowered some of the warnings down in South Florida just to tropical storm warnings. Now looking at the wind field here, this is the arrival times, but you can see that purple area, that's 100% chance of tropical winds, and they're already reaching all the way up into Georgia. So they are just going to, as the hurricane moves, this whole track here will just move north and northwest. Next up is our storm surge. It's been dialed back a little bit because of the track of Irma, but still it's anywhere from 4 to 6 feet, and that can do a lot of damage. Most of Florida, especially on the coast, is usually 2 or 3 feet above sea level. So even 5 feet or 6 feet will inundate a lot of area. Now looking at this, I wanted to show you how much convection and how much of the storminess is to the north and to the northeast of Irma, and very little to the south. And this is just very typical of a tropical cyclone, that the northern and northeast quadrant is going to have most of the rain. Now here is our tracks. They've changed very little. They're still looking for it to sort of go north and start to make a northwest turn and go up through Georgia, Alabama, and eventually end up somewhere in western Tennessee, maybe near Nashville, Memphis, that area. Our next graphic up is I'm getting a lot of emails of what is going to be happening here in East Tennessee and western North Carolina. We have a wind advisory up. We're going to have windy conditions. It's going to develop Monday afternoon through Tuesday morning, and the winds are going to be north to northeast at 15 to 25 with gusts to 40. Obviously, if you're higher up in the mountains, up on the parkway, gusts to over 50 miles an hour are possible. The rain is still looking, they're calling for 1 to around 3 inches of rain. This may change if the track changes. There could be some flash flooding. Also looking at some of the wind gust, and this is at 12:30 a.m. Monday morning. Greenville, South Carolina had one of 25. Atlanta had 30. Knoxville only had 9 miles an hour. Bartow, which the hurricane went almost over, had a gust of 65, but that was at 10:55, and we've heard no more from that station. There's a lot of reports of no power in that area and a bunch of trees down. So it probably, there's no power and no report from that station. And in East Tennessee and Western North Carolina, be ready for power outages from down trees. And there could be some flash flooding, especially if we do get more than that 3 inches of rain. And it really depends on the track in the next 8 hours if it moves more north or it starts to turn its northwest and stay on that track. And here is a radar. This is out of Greenville, South Carolina, and you can see that the bands are already in that area just south of Columbia, and they're all circulating and moving up. And here is the latest one we have out of Tampa, and you can see that most of all the showers and storminess is to the north of the storm, and even though they're still getting wind to the south, say near Lake Okeechobee and West Palm Beach and that area, there's a lot less banding and a lot less rain on the south side of Irma. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you have any questions about what area you're in and what the weather might be the next day or so, ask a question. We'll try to get back with you as soon as we can. Well, thank you very much, and stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.